This Christmas, I want to take you with me as we think about the unique way Jesus came to this earth. I mean, the God of the universe came in such humble circumstances. And why did he do this? He could have been born as one of royal birth. Jesus could have been delivered in a lavish palace room with honorable parents ready to give him every convenience. And yet he chose to be born to a young teenage girl, someone who was accused of promiscuous behavior on the account of her virgin birth. He was born in a stable among the farm animals and the stench and the reality of a poor existence. And as he grew, his ministry was just as unlikely. He chose a small motley crew of young men, one a former tax collector who had worked for the Romans, who suppressed God's chosen people. A few fishermen with probably very little education who knew nothing of saving souls. And Jesus even called a man who, even though Jesus would pour his time and his energy and his heart into this man named Judas, would betray him to his death for a little bit of money. And yet this was the life on earth and the ministry Jesus chose, a somewhat oxymoron for today's terms of potential for success and the ability to reach people. But none of this happened by chance. This was planned from the beginning of time. This very absurd reality to the most practically minded stands the difference of Christianity to all other religions. The book I'm reading right now, called Why I Am a Christian, puts it like this. The Christian is happy in the assurance that his religiosity does not consist in religious self-exertion, stretching himself upward towards a holy and distant God on high. The secret of his religion is that God himself has come down to him, has laid hold on him, and lifted him into a most intimate and blessed fellowship with himself. I love those words, and it makes me think about the position that we often assume when we want to connect with a little child. Don't we get down on our knees and we come to their level, and then we may pick them up into our arms and snuggle them tightly? That is exactly what Jesus has done for us. He stooped down in humility to be one of us, and yet still fully God. And then as he died on the cross for our sin and for our shame, and then rose again from the grave, conquering death, he made it possible for us to have that sweet embrace, to be held in his arms just like that little child, to be rescued from all of our sin by the God who came in flesh. As you can see, this Jesus, this God, is a very personal God. He is waiting for you to say yes to him. He is saying, I choose you, but will you choose me? And this Christmas is the perfect time to reflect on this Jesus, the one that we celebrate at Christmas time. You see, sometimes we see God as this man upstairs, this impersonal God that doesn't care about our day-to-day circumstances. But what I told you of Jesus and how he came into this earth and his ministry shows you that Jesus, that God, he does care. He's ready to meet you right where you're at. And many of us are in the lowest circumstances of our lives that we've ever been in 2020. We may be dealing with great fear of the future, health issues, financial struggles, and God is willing to meet you right where you're at. You see, I made this decision many years ago to follow Jesus, and it was the best decision I ever made. And because of that decision, I have hope for tomorrow. I don't have to fear about the future. And best of all, I don't have to go it alone, because God will walk with me through whatever I may face in the future. So what about you? Are you ready to say yes to God? Well, if you do, then I may just have to warn you that 2021 may not be the worst year of your life, but it may be the best one to come.